Alright, pinball fans, hope everybody's having a good night tonight. I'm going to try to do a little quick video tonight on a highly requested topic on adjusting the table lighting and maybe ball reflections and whatnot. We'll go over a few things. But this is kind of going to be a basic tutorial how to adjust like insert lightings, maybe flashers or something like that. The problem is that every table is made differently. Every creator does it a different way. There's so many different options. They do insert lighting, maybe images, maybe a mask over top of it, and use a intensity profile. They do it scripting it. I mean, there's just so many different ways. But we're just going to do the basics and let you show you how to click on the light, show you what the different numbers mean, and we'll go from there. I will look at Batman the Dark Knight here a little bit. Someone wanted that one, but I know a great table to show crazy lighting, and that's the install table for Pinup Popper. That is the Leprechaun King here. So if you open this table up and we hit play, the bloom on this table is just outrageous. And I know it's kind of supposed to be made that way, but it's a little bit much. So I'll show you how to adjust that a little bit if you want to, and we'll go over that. So here we go. Let's quit out. So basically your editor will look something like this. If not, it might be blank like this. You need to open up the right hand side. You might have to pull down or up a bar on the right, but basically you need to get to the different layers because we got to click them and find out which one the inserts are in. Okay, so we'll click one. Alright, so this is showing you some flashers. Anytime you have big circles like this is flashers. And they looks like they made it in two ways. So you got an image. So this has, and you can look over on the right what image they use. Dome green flash. So if you open table, image manager, go down to dome green flash, it uses this picture right here to kind of flash, and then they use a bloom on the outside to make the light bright. Okay, so that kind of shows you two examples. They probably have more lights inside here, so yeah. So they got flasher, flasher 2. They have another light up inside there that you can adjust. It's actually the light itself, and then they put an image over that, and then they put a flasher over top of that. So basically you have 3 different lights on this one light. So let's just say you want to tone that down a little bit. Now for the picture image, you would actually have to resize that if you didn't want that to be so big. You can turn down the effect over here on the right hand side, like the opacity. It's on 5,000. You could put it down, lower, or you could turn down the amount. If you didn't want it to be so wide out, you could actually just shrink this up, just like this. Now this is only the image, so that the image that we saw in the table image manager is just that green flash that's in the center. So the light itself, what they made is a big light here. So what you have the intensity at top on the right hand side. That's how bright it's going to be. Okay. Then you have the fall off range. That's how big your circle is, how far the light can go out. Okay. So if you didn't want it to go out so far, you could put 200. It would shrink that circle in, but the problem is that they have the light itself stretched out past that red circle. So what will happen is everything that's in that red circle will be so prominent, like it'll be super bright, like you'll just see that it'll see a circle when it goes off. So you always want your light itself smaller than the red circle, smaller than your fall off range. That way you can taper it off. That way it's real dark in the center, real bright in the center, and then it kind of fades as it goes out. And that's what fall off power is. The higher that number is, the quicker the light fades. So it'll be real bright in the center, and the higher you have that number, as it goes out to the outer edges of this light, it'll taper off quicker. Okay, so let's go back to this light here. Let's go back. What was it at? 400. Yeah. So you always want the light itself smaller than your fall off range. And then so if you wanted to fall off range, so if you didn't want the flasher to be, you would actually have to move this in too. So if you wanted your light smaller, you could drag all this in. If you didn't want it taking up the whole table, however you want to do it. If you wanted it to be more concentrated just in this area, and then you could shrink your fall off range down. Make this something like that. Alright. But we're gonna look at inserts. So let's keep flipping through here to alright, so here's it's on layer 1. Here's your insert lighting. So we'll click on this. Let me zoom in so you can get a better look at it. As you see, your light itself, the color, is here, and that'll be on top. So if I turned on the play field, you can do table, view, play field backdrop. So this is the actual light itself. So if you move that, you'll see he has the insert right here. So they have the color sitting on top of it. Okay? So this is the light. So they made the light fit the insert. Okay? And then the outer red, so as you see when that table plays how it has such a big glow, it's because they have the fall off range double the size of the actual light itself. Okay? So if you wanted that to not be so large, bright, you don't want it to shine so far outside of the insert itself onto the playfield, you could just shrink that up. Alright? So let's just say, let's go half that. Let's go 30. And see it shrinks it down to just a little bit over the insert itself. I like having a little bit. We'll go 35. See what that looks like. Okay, we'll do about 35. We'll do it on several of these, and I'll show you the difference. Alright, let's click it here. Alright, so we did these three like that. Alright, then what you could do is in your fall off power. So if you want it to be bright in the center, but you don't want it to be so bright on the outer edge, you go up on the fall off power. Now here's the brightness itself. So here's the light. Let's say if you wanted to tone that light down. So let's cut this the light itself down to about 30. Alright. Let's just say we'll just test that. So we'll cut that down to 30. Alright. We have the range down to 35. Let's just play it and see what those three lights look like. Alright, you can already tell that on the right hand side of that, it toned that way down. I know you can't really tell because of all the other lights, but it is. Looks much better already. So let's just say, let's just do 30, 35. This one. She could tell it a little bit better. Alright, 30 and 35. Oh, let's do this middle one here too. Alright, so now we got this whole row. I'm going to do this one too, so it'll kind of stick out. That's a smaller light, so we're going to go even lower. Let's go to about 30 or 25. Let's see. We'll do 30. Alright, so that's all those. This one here is smaller too, so let's do 30 on that. Now we hadn't even changed the fall off power, but since we lowered the intensity itself and we shortened the range of the glow, it's already going to look better. Alright, you see that row of lights compared to the other ones? Let's see if I can stop it on there. Let's see. Yeah. But it already looks better. So you can kind of tell. See there? So these other ones glow out way and they're way brighter. Alright. So that's that. If you, and like I said, if you didn't want it to glow as bright outside the light itself, you could increase this fall off range. So you could even do that. Just say you didn't want to adjust all these lights, like shrink them down. You could just increase the fall off range a lot, and it would basically kill the light. So, and I'll show you how to multi-select some. So if you hold down your mouse, you drag, make a circle over, or make a square over these. See how it selects everything in the square? So let's just go to this fall off power, and we're going to we'll put 10. Alright, put in 10, then click the box above it, and it'll take effect for all these. Alright, so let's just hit that and see what that next row looks like. See, it already killed that row of lights too. See how it looks? That's kind of a quicker way, but not really adjusting the light itself. So we could do that for the rest of these, just to show you. Which ones we got here? We'll do 10 on all these, just so you can see what a difference it'll make. Alright, so we got 10 on pretty much all these. Yep. Alright. That whole middle section, see how much lower that is? Like I said, if you wanted it brighter, but only problem with that is then it's maybe not as bright. I think it looks better if you actually adjust the light itself. So if you look at that top row that we did, the lighting looks a little better. But you could just not go as high as the fall off, so maybe go 8. You just adjust it. Just you know, try a light out, see what it looks like, and then see if it's how you like it. You can kind of see there 2 rows. Alright, so let's exit out of here. I'm not going to save. Let's open Batman Dark Knight. I think this table looks pretty good already. It's pretty good lighting. We don't really have to mess with it, but if you did, just say if you wanted the inserts brighter or darker, it's all the same way. You would go into the table. As you can see, there's some flashers. Here's some, usually if you have a whole bunch of circles like this, is your GI. So if you wanted your GI lighting, and I didn't go over that either, just so sometimes they have it grouped in. So if you click on one, it'll auto click all of them. So you could actually change them all in one shot. But let's just say you didn't want the top ones maybe aren't that bright, but the bottom ones are too bright, and you just wanted to change them. You could do like I showed earlier. You could go in here, uncheck, find out which ones you want. If you right click, you can check light. So these are light 11, light 12, light 9. You could uncheck all these and then go down and just turn the ones on you want. Let's just say do these, and then the problem is if you click it, it'll still click all of them. So let's just say you want 1 or 2 of these. What you have to do is draw the box around it like that and get 1, or you can right click on in the middle of all of them and then pick a light. So light 9, light 10, see, like that, right click, light 11, it'll select that one. But if you want to do this group, you can draw a square around it, select all those, come in here, let's increase the GI lighting. Let's say if it's not bright enough, you can either reduce the fallout, you can increase the intensity. So the fallout's pretty low, so we'll just increase the intensity. We'll just say about 15. We'll see what that GI looks like on the left there. Alright. That's pretty good. Like I say, you could go up, down, however you want to do it. Alright, so let's say the blue lights on the left there that are blinking, say you want them brighter. Say you wanted them to stick out more. Maybe shine over the playfield a little bit. So here's your inserts. Alright. So it was these blue lights right here. So I can draw a line over all these. We got them selected. The intensity I have on them is only 4. So that's pretty low. We're going to go up. Let's just go up to maybe 10 or 15. Let's just try that out. And then we'll start it up and see what them blue lights look like now. Alright. Looks pretty good. We go even higher. Let's just let's go crazy with it. Oh. That's the only problem with it. Keep adjusting the editor. It'll crash with you sometimes. So you know if it crashes on you, it ain't just you. Alright, so let's just go over here. Alright, I got all these selected. Let's go to about 50. Let's check that out. See how they light up and they glow and they come out from the insert a little bit. What else I want? If you like these red ones to be brighter, we'll go up about 30. So you just make them brighter. I think the lighting already looked good though, but I mean, like I said, this is just so you could adjust it for yourself. One other thing I will do is the ball. So if you click on the table somewhere where there's not anything, you'll have these options: visual, lights, physical, and sound. If you're under visual, you can pick your ball here. If you don't have one, you can install one. I like to use my own. So let's go to the image manager, import. I'll go to my hard drive, put my ball. Okay, then I can come over here to the right. This is actually in my download files too, so if you need a ball, it's in there. There's my ball. Alright. The reflection on a playfield, like the reflection under the ball, is this reflection strength. Usually about 30 is a good number for 10.8. Reflection of playfield and bulb intensity. So reflection of playfield is the glowing circle that you get around the ball. Alright, so I usually run that about, both of these, I usually run about 0.5, but you test it out. If it looks like it's glowing too much, and then the dots, like the glowing light, the glaring light, is the bulb intensity. So let's just see what this looks like. Alright, it's not too bad. It ain't too bad at all. Actually, I can probably keep it about right there. The lights, the glow around the ball isn't too bad. Has a little bit of glow, maybe too much. And then the lighting, like I said, I usually use 0.5 and 0.5. I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and save just in case it decides it wants to crash. Just hit File, Save before you load. Alright. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. The circle around it isn't too bad, and the lights. You can see the lighting glow on the ball itself. Alright. We'll do one more table. Let's let me find something. Would be good. I just adjusted this Godfather table. It was really bright too, but let's do Tommy, because I just had worked on that table. See what it looks like. Tommy. Okay, so let's say if you wanted the GI or something brighter, like the lights or the slings. A lot of times I like adjusting those. What you can do, like I said, you can find if they label them good, they'll be labeled GI. So here's your GI. Well, oh, table's locked. Alright, so here's the GI for the slings around this side. So intensity's on 5 on all these. Let's just say we'll go up to about 10. And we can compare the left and the right. Alright, see, I think that actually looks a little better. I should have adjusted it a little brighter before I released it, but here you go. So if you want to adjust the GI, that's how you do it. You just go up on the intensity a little bit. We'll go ahead and do this one too. You could even go even more, just say if you wanted 15. Looks pretty good. And then you could go all the way around the table like that, adjusting different areas. Some you might want brighter than others. Like I said, the main takeaway is the intensity is kind of the initial brightness. The fall off range is how far it can go out, which is the red circle. And then the fall off power is how quickly the light fades as it goes to the outside. Okay? So just to give you an example, let's look at this right quick. So how you can see on the slings how the light kind of comes out. Well, if you wanted that even brighter, or not really brighter, but let's say brighter further out, you could turn your fall off power down, or if you wanted it lighter, you could turn your fall off power down, and then it's more prominent. Like all the lights are just magnified. They don't really taper off. If you got it on 1, it's bright all the way out. All the lights are. And then if you wanted it less, you can go up maybe 5, and then they won't be so bright so far out. It'd be kind of slowly taper its way out. Hope that makes sense. Hope that helps you guys out. And yeah, if you got any questions, drop in a line. Hit me up on Discord. That's really the easiest way to catch me and ask questions. The Discord channel's really taken off, and everybody seems to like it over there. And it's definitely a lot easier to communicate back and forth than going through Facebook and YouTube and all that. So check out Discord. Have a lot of downloads over there and tables and things we're doing. And till next time.